The bell rang, and students flooded the hallway, their laughter echoing off the lockers. The scent of cafeteria fries mixed with the faint smell of floor polish. Among the chaos, a new face appeared, Lila, clutching her schedule like it was a lifeline. She moved carefully, eyes scanning for her next class, her nervous smile barely hiding the tension in her shoulders. New school, new start, that's what she told herself. But not everyone was interested in making her feel welcome. From the far end of the hall, Chase Dalton leaned against a locker with his friends, the self-proclaimed kings of Ridgewood High. Chase was tall, confident, and cruel in that charming, practiced way that made teachers adore him and everyone else fear him. His eyes landed on Lila, the new girl with second-hand clothes and a quiet presence. Easy target. Who's that? He muttered to his friend, smirking. Transfer from Silver Creek, his buddy replied. Heard she got in a fight there or something. That was enough to fuel his curiosity. Chase grabbed his Coke bottle, still half full, and pushed off the locker. As Lila stopped by the vending machine to check her map, he swaggered over, grin spreading wider with every step. Hey, new girl, he called, tilting his head. You lost or just sightseeing? Lila turned, startled but polite. I'm just looking for room 204. His friend snickered behind him. Chase took a slow sip of Coke, studying her like she was a puzzle he already planned to break. Room 204. You passed it, genius. Guess they didn't teach directions where you came from. Lila stiffened. Thanks, I'll find it. She turned to leave, but Chase blocked her way, lowering his bottle just enough to flash his trademark smirk. You don't walk away when I'm talking to you, he said, voice dripping with arrogance. You say, thank you, Chase. Her jaw tightened. She said nothing. The silence made his friends restless, they needed a show. Chase lifted the Coke bottle, pretending to drink again, then suddenly tilted it forward. The cold, sticky liquid splashed over her head, soaking her hair and shirt in brown fizz. Gasps and laughter filled the hallway. Lila froze, eyes wide, Coke dripping down her cheek and onto the floor. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but fury. Oops, Chase said, mock sympathy in his voice. Guess you found the wrong room and the wrong crowd. His friends burst into louder laughter, recording with their phones. Lila looked up slowly, meeting his eyes for the first time, and something in her stare made him falter. Her expression wasn't broken or humiliated. It was calm, too calm. Without a word, she brushed her wet hair back, lifted her chin, and walked past him, leaving sticky footprints behind her. Chase laughed again, but unease crept into his smirk. He didn't know it yet, but that look she gave him was a promise. One she intended to keep. The next morning, Ridgewood High buzzed with the same careless energy, except for one subtle shift. The video of Chase dumping Coke on Lila had already made its rounds on every student's phone. Some laughed, others scrolled past, but a few whispered about how the new girl didn't even flinch. That calm stare, it lingered in their minds more than the prank itself. Chase, of course, loved the attention. He strutted through the hall with his usual arrogance, soaking up the smirks and fist bumps from his friends. Guess I made her famous, he joked, spinning his locker combination. But when he turned around, he stopped short. Lila was walking down the hall, dry, confident, and completely unbothered. Her hair was neatly tied back, her uniform crisp, her expression unreadable. She didn't look like the quiet, nervous girl from yesterday. She looked composed. And that bothered him. She passed him without a glance, heading straight into the science lab. Chase's smirk flickered. Round 2, he muttered, following her inside. The teacher hadn't arrived yet, and the room buzzed with chatter. Lila sat near the window, flipping through her notebook, ignoring the whispers around her. Chase strolled up, resting a hand on her desk. Hey, Coke girl, he said casually, loud enough for others to hear. You dry clean that shirt or just air it out? A few students chuckled. Lila looked up, her calm gaze cutting through the noise. I did neither, she said softly. But thanks for asking. You might want to dry your ego, it's leaking all over the place. The class went silent for half a beat, then erupted in laughter. Chase blinked, caught off guard. His face tightened. What did you just say? Lila tilted her head, still calm. You heard me. For the first time, Chase didn't have a clever comeback. The bell rang, and the teacher entered, forcing him to retreat to his seat under a wave of snickers. He kept glancing back at her during class, fuming. No one talked to him like that. After class, as everyone packed up, Lila approached his desk. You like attention, right? She said quietly so only he could hear. Good. Because soon, everyone's going to be looking at you, but not the way you think. Before he could respond, she slipped a folded piece of paper onto his desk and walked out. Chase unfolded it, expecting some apology or pathetic note. Instead, it was a photo, a screenshot of his group's private chat. His friends laughing about how they ruined another freshman last semester. Names, pictures, and all. At the bottom, in neat handwriting, she'd written, You started a game. I play better. Chase's heart thudded. His smirk was gone. For the first time, he realized, this new girl wasn't his next victim. She was his reckoning. By lunchtime, tension rippled through Ridgewood High like static. Whispers chased Chase through the halls, people glancing at him, some smirking, others whispering behind their hands. He didn't understand how fast it had spread, but he could feel it, something was off. When he reached his locker, he found a sticky note on it. Smile for the cameras, Chase. It's your turn. His stomach dropped. He looked around, but no one was there. Just students hurrying past, laughing about something on their phones. He pulled out his phone and froze. The group chat, their private group chat, had been leaked online. Screenshots from his account were posted on Ridgewood's student forum. Every cruel message, every prank idea, every time he and his friends mocked someone weaker, all laid bare for everyone to see. Chase's fingers tightened around his phone. What the hell, he muttered, scrolling faster. His name was trending on every student's feed. Comments flooded in. So he's been doing this for years. Wow. Fake charm, real trash. About time someone took him down. His throat felt dry. He turned, spotting Lila across the cafeteria. She sat at a table alone, eating calmly, her earbuds in like the chaos around her didn't exist. He marched over, fury and panic tangled in his chest. You think this is funny? He snapped, slamming his hand on her table. You hacked my account. Lila looked up slowly, taking out one earbud. Funny, she repeated softly. No, Chase. I think justice is satisfying. His voice rose. You think you can just expose you? She interrupted, eyes sharp as glass. I didn't need to. You already exposed yourself. You and your little gang didn't hide your tracks as well as you thought. The cafeteria had gone quiet now. Everyone was watching. Lila stood, meeting him eye to eye. Do you know what it feels like to be humiliated in front of strangers? She asked, voice steady but cold. To have people laugh while you stand there covered in shame. Chase clenched his fists, his jaw tightening. You don't know anything about me. Lila's gaze didn't waver. I know enough. I know you broke people to make yourself feel powerful. I know you think fear earns respect. She stepped closer, her voice lowering to a whisper only he could hear. But today, Chase, you get to feel what you made everyone else feel. Then she turned and walked away. He stood frozen, surrounded by the same students who used to cheer for him, now recording, whispering, laughing. His own words from the chat popped up in their captions. His phone buzzed with a notification, suspension pending investigation. Chase's breath came shallow and sharp. His empire of arrogance had crumbled in one day, and Lila hadn't even raised her voice. She didn't need revenge through violence or tears. She used truth, and it cut deeper than anything he'd ever done. The following week, the atmosphere at Ridgewood High had completely changed. The laughter that once echoed around Chase Dalton now followed him like mockery. His friends had distanced themselves, claiming they never meant to hurt anyone. His once flawless reputation was gone, replaced by silence and stares wherever he went. He walked through the hallways with his hood up, eyes fixed on the floor. Every locker door that slammed felt like an echo of his downfall. The teachers treated him differently too, polite but disappointed, the kind of look that said you did this to yourself. When he passed the bulletin board near the main stairwell, something stopped him cold. There, pinned neatly under a school flyer, was a photo of him from last year, smiling, surrounded by friends. But across it, someone had written in bold red marker. Actions define you more than your smile ever will. He tore it down, his hands shaking. He wanted to be angry, to lash out, to reclaim that false confidence, but the fight had drained out of him. As he turned to leave, he noticed Lila standing by her locker. She wasn't gloating or smiling. In fact, she looked calm, thoughtful, even a little sad. Their eyes met for a long, quiet moment. He hesitated, then walked toward her. You got what you wanted, he muttered, voice low. Lila closed her locker and faced him. No, Chase. What I wanted was for you to understand. He frowned, defensive. Understand what? That I messed up. That your words matter. That what you did to people stays with them, she said softly. The coke will wash off, but humiliation doesn't. You don't have to feel sorry for me. Just don't do it to anyone else. Chase swallowed hard. He wanted to argue, to find some excuse, but for once, he couldn't. Everything she said was true. I didn't think it would go that far, he said quietly. Lila nodded. None of you ever do. She picked up her bag and started walking away, then paused. You're lucky, Chase. Most people don't get the chance to fix what they broke. Don't waste yours. He watched her leave, her calm footsteps echoing down the corridor. For the first time in years, he felt small, not because someone made him feel that way, but because he finally saw himself clearly. That afternoon, he walked into the principal's office voluntarily. He confessed to every prank, every message, every cruel thing he and his friends had done. The suspension turned into mandatory community service, and he accepted it without protest. Weeks later, Lila passed by the school garden where Chase was repainting benches with other students. She didn't say anything, but their eyes met again, this time, without anger. He gave a small nod. She returned it, and though neither spoke, they both knew something had changed. Lila had gotten justice. Chase had learned humility. And Ridgewood High had learned that sometimes, the quietest person in the room carries the loudest lesson.